In this video, we're going to cover how to use the sandbox. When you go to the sandbox for the first time for each of your pages, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to say the sandbox doesn't have any data yet, and it's going to tell you press the Run Now button above to get started. You can see the Run Now button. There's a clear entire sandbox button, and you can start to see these different tabs as well. There's a tab for RSS feeds, for web, news, videos, and images. And then you see right here, there's a box that says Sandbox Settings, and we click on that, and we will see our current keyword list that we have saved, and I've added a couple in here so we can have some more to look from. I can delete these, or I can edit these if I want, and that's about it. You can actually even add in new keywords or feed URLs right here as well, although I prefer to do it in the content tab personally. Anyway, so you see this kind of stuff, so let's close this up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the Run Now button. And it's going to tell you you need to be patient. And you really do need to be patient, because what's happening is that we are doing a pretty sophisticated search right now that's searching a lot of content on all of these different tabs. And depending upon how many keywords you have in there, it can take a while. So just be patient. This can take several minutes. It could take up to 5 minutes. And depending upon how many keywords you're having us look for, which again is another reason not to have a lot of keywords to work from, really focus on your on tight keywords, it'll take a few minutes. So I'm going to pause the video and we'll come back when it's ready. Okay, after a couple of minutes, we have all types of content that's poured in. You can see here's all the images, and it goes on and on and on and on. And go all the way to the bottom, and there's load more content. You don't need to do that until you get to the bottom. And same thing goes with all the videos, and there's news. Here, I'll click the video so you can see. It takes a second again because everything's having to render. And news and the RSS feeds, and everything is in here. So it is time for me to start to curate. It takes a little bit of time because we have to kind of re-render all these things every time we click around. So I encourage you to focus on one tab at a time, and that'll be the most efficient use of your time. And so here we go. So as I said in the content basics video, I recommend that you go through each of the items one at a time and make a decision. Just like if you were the editor at a newspaper and you had a bunch of reporters running around gathering stories and bringing them to you, you would make decisions on each of the stories, whether or not you wanted to publish them. And the same thing applies here. So you may be tempted just to scroll around and look for something, something's going to catch your eye, and then make a decision about whether or not you want to publish it. But the problem is you're still going to have a lot of content sitting in the sandbox that is going to need your decision. So make quick decisions. I'm not worried about, and you shouldn't be worried about, oh man, is this right or wrong, or will I use it later? If you like something, approve it, edit it, do whatever you want with it, and approve it. So for example, I like this picture. I'm going to take the link out. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit approve. I don't like this picture. It looks completely like a stock photo, so I'm going to block that image. I like this one. Look at all those pups. That's awesome. Go in, hit save. And again, I'm editing these. I can put some words in there if I wanted, but for sake of quickness, I'm not going to. Look, that's great. Delete that out, hit save. And again, you may want to keep this link in. That's perfectly fine. So you can see the similarities between the sandbox and the content tabs. What makes it different ultimately is that once, your first time, the sandbox is going to take the longest, but once you start coming back in on a regular basis and checking the sandbox and running it, it should run faster for you. If not, please let us know. But it should be running quicker so that every time you log in, you've got more and more content that you can approve in a quicker fashion. And again, once you start to publish things going forward, make sure that you're paying attention to these little flags. So when you first get started, there will be no content that you've published, right? But after a while, you're going to have content. And if for some reason you're in the sandbox or in your content tabs and you see something in here that you've published before, then feel free to hide it or block it so that it won't come back up again. And again, it's not perfect. We have not worked out every single bug on that because a lot of times links change and it's a little tricky. So we're doing our best on that side too. But that is the gist of the sandbox. Again, it is really, it is your editing desk. So you can definitely find content and approve it and work with it directly from the content tab when you're first getting started and you're first looking for keywords. Once you save those keywords, they're going to come over into the sandbox, and then this is where you're going to end up spending a lot of your time and just approving content this way. So you can imagine right now there's dozens and dozens of just images here. And let's go back over to the videos and I'll approve some of those too so we can have kind of a nice mix of some stuff. So German Shepherd's playing. That looks great. I'm going to approve that. We'll approve that. And I'm going to approve these so that when we go into the posting video, we'll have some content in there to work from. So that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one.